Social Media Hangout time. I'm Janet Johnson, and today I'm soloing it. I'm here solo to talk about repurposing content. This is going to be short. We're kind of changing the format a little bit on some of our shows. We're going to be Lisa and myself chatting. Some of the shows we're going to bring in some guests to interview. We have some really cool guests coming up in the next couple months. And of course, Kimmy the Puppet will be involved in that. And then sometimes we're just going to do some question and answers. But some of these, we don't need to make them so long. So we want to have some of our posts be, or podcasts / videos to be a little shorter. So here we go. Today we're going to talk about 9 ways to repurpose content. And this is going to talk about recent graphic that I had created that we did an infographic all about how to repurpose a Google Hangout. Because I like to start from the Google Hangout. I come up with the content and then I go to the Hangout. And then what I do is from that Hangout, we spin it off into different directions. So starting with the Hangout, it's very simple because this is first off creating a video for you to be able to have on YouTube. So now we're spinning from a Hangout into that YouTube video. Then what you can actually do if you aren't doing this for a specific show or podcast, maybe you're doing interviewing somebody, like I've interviewed doctors before where we sit down, talk back and forth, and then what I do is I'll cut that video down into multiple videos. And so now you're repurposing it into a bunch of short videos. So that's another option for you. Then the next piece would be a Facebook video. Now, I'm going to mention that because it's very important to post specifically a Facebook video versus YouTube. Now, granted, you can do the YouTube video, but you're not going to get that movement. And Facebook really likes it when you upload a video directly to their platform. So if you have the capabilities, you can download this from YouTube, upload it, and repurpose it into Facebook. And so, you know, when I'm doing an entire, let's say we're doing a 25-minute show or something like that, you know what? I only take like a 30-second clip. We had a really cool guest last time that actually became a puppet, and it was so fun. And so what we ended up doing was I took and downloaded that video, and I just cut the piece where he turned into the puppet. So it just kind of showed the cool fun that we had with it. And that's a great way to just take and give somebody a glimpse of what the entire show is about or the entire video is about. So use Facebook to your advantage with videos by actually downloading and uploading the raw file. And you can clip it easy enough. And I'm not a huge video editing person, but Movie Maker, you can do it in, whatever. So podcast. Next thing is a podcast. If you have that podcast platform, take that content, and we're talking, we started with a Google Hangout and we moved it to YouTube. It's automatically recorded on YouTube, and then we download that from there. Download the sound file and put that into a podcast. So there's a lot of steps there, but just to talk about the repurposing of it. Now, next thing could be a blog post. You take that content and turn that content into a blog post. And of course, you want to create images around it. A lot of times when we have guests, we have some incredible tips that they talk about. Just the things that come out of their mouths are great for little quotes. And so we'll create quotes around that, around what that interview said, and then we'll take that little quote, maybe it's a 1-2 sentence quote, and we'll create an image around that with our branding of Social Media Hangout Time right on it. And usually their picture to give them credit, but it's also content for us to reuse. So that's a lot of fun, and it's a very simple way to create images and have more images for your content. Okay, we're still at more. We can even create a presentation out of this. We can literally do a PowerPoint presentation out of either those images, out of the quotes. Out of the whole entire interview, you can break it down into that type of presentation and then use that for a Slideshare. So that's another option for you. And lastly, obviously, we're going to take those text quotes too, and we don't always have to put those into an image. We can take them and that can become just text. And of course, in the end, you want to reuse all of these pieces and put them out onto your social media sites. So that's 9 ways to repurpose a Google Hangout. And I want you to think about, if you're not doing Google Hangout, there are ways to repurpose in different directions. Think about how much work it is to do a really fantastic blog post. If you need to do research, usually you need to get the proper content, the proper images. How are you repurposing that specific blog post? Are you creating images, additional images to put out on Facebook with your link? Are you creating possibly expanding it and putting it out into an entire Google Plus post? Are you turning around and making that blog into a video? So you can do it in multiple directions, but the thing I'm trying to teach you here is don't forget to repurpose your content. Reuse all that hard work that you did. Make sure that you're repurposing your content. If you have more suggestions, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Thank you so much for joining me alone here for Social Media Hangout Time. Have a great day.